Okay. Good evening. I'd like to go ahead and call to order the Zoning Board of Appeals regular meeting for Tuesday, March 18th, 2025. Mr. Clark, can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay,
Can hear you.
perfect. All right, just wanted to make sure that we were good before we started. In this meeting, we're going to be having a public hearing. And if I could, please to have the secretary read the legal notice, please. Let me just go up to about here. All right. So right there.
A copy of the, oh, no. You pointed there, Bob.
I'm sorry, yeah, we're going to restart up
Here to
there.
here.
To here, yes, correct.
All righty.
Perfect, thank you.
All right, the Rocky Hill Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, March 18th, 2025, beginning at 7 p.m. in the Town Hall Council Chambers, 761 Old Main Street, Rocky Hill, Connecticut, 06067, to consider the following. A, Appeal 2025-01, Charles and Claire Clark, requesting a variance from the requirements of the Rocky Hill zoning regulation sections 9.g.3.2.b, A-2 survey requirement, and 2.b structure applicable to fences to allow for a 10-foot high fence where 6 feet is required for property located at 214 Old Main Street in an R20 zoning district, ID number 04-488. At this hearing, all interested persons may be heard and written communications will be received. Written comments may be directed to land use commissions at rockyhillct.gov and must be reviewed at least 1 hour prior to the start of the meeting, or delivered to the zoning department at 761 Old Main Street, Rocky Hill, Connecticut.
Cool. All righty.
All right.
Great. Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary. You can have your packet back. Just give me back my legal notice. Okay. All right, Mr. Clark, I know you have been before this commission before, so why don't you go ahead and begin for us, please?
Okay. To recap, the original appeal to your board was for a 10-foot fence. And we were granted 10-foot on the inclined areas where it seemed more likely that the deer could clear an 8-foot fence, but not in approximately 2/3 of the perimeter, where we were only granted an 8-foot fence. And that 8-foot fence has repeatedly proven to be inadequate to serve the purpose of which we put the fence in, which was to keep deer out. And it's on repeated occasions they have been able to jump the fence. They aren't able, it seems, to jump out, and that is troubling because they tend to harm themselves bashing into the fence that they seem not to be able to see. And so we have, on many occasions, opened gates and tried as best we could to herd them out. On December 1st, a large doe jumped the fence and must have severed her spine. She was unable to move and had to be put down. And these incursions have brought the attention of animal control and police on several occasions, and the neighbors have been concerned, and the place where the doe was injured was right behind a family with young children, and it was distressing to them for sure.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I saw your pictures, and I do remember you being in front of us 2 years ago. I'd like to go ahead and start this, open this up. Actually, first of all, I want to go ahead and, excuse me, Mr. Clark, I should have done this before. I'd like to welcome Commissioner Christopher Duff with us. He is now a full member, his first meeting with us, so welcome, Mr. Duff.
Thank you.
Thank you. And do you have any questions for Mr. Clark?
I don't at this time. I reviewed the minutes from the last meeting as well as, so I do not at this time, other than, do we have to close the public hearing before
Yes.
we take action, right? So,
Correct, yes.
will we ask questions on top of that, or?
We will have one round of questions to the applicant, and then we will discuss amongst ourselves after we close the hearing.
Okay, my main question then, sorry, for Mr. Clark, is just in terms of replacing the existing 8-foot fence, is the intention to knock that fence down and erect the new 10-foot fence, or there's an add-on? Just if you could talk a little about what that plan, if it were approved, would look like to install the new fence.
The plan is to extend the fence rather than to replace all of the posts. So in other words, each post would have an extension on it and 2 additional strands of wire in that 24-inch segment extension.
Thank you.
Secretary Smith, anything?
Yeah, my question is just, have we gotten any correspondence from the neighbors or anything like that? Do we have any feedback from the neighbors on their opinion or anything, the abutting properties?
I haven't received any opinions. I've just had some people calling up and coming into town hall to ask what the application was for, but
no
opinions.
no
either
feedback
way.
from them or anything like that?
No.
And Mr. Clark, have you heard anything from neighbors or do you have any insight as to what other people, your abutting properties think about the change?
What I've heard isn't, I haven't heard any negative comments or concerns about extension. I've heard numerous concerns about wildlife being harmed and just repeated concerns about the deer because they have seen the carcass being removed, and it's been traumatic for some of particularly the younger kids.
And the purpose of putting the fence up in the first place was to keep them out of like a garden or something like that. Is that right?
Yes, garden and shrubs. We have extensive rhododendron that have been decimated, azaleas, asparagus bed. It's very difficult to treat individual areas and keep them away with sprays and repellents. It doesn't seem to be effective.
Okay. That's all I had. Or, oh, no, sorry, one other question, sorry. How many deer would you say have gotten trapped in there in, say, the last year? Are we talking about like one, or are we talking about like a dozen?
I think that we have ourselves probably removed 16 deer.
In the last year?
Probably in the last year and a half.
Okay.
Not control of those 60 this year.
And we have had some removed when we were not in place.
Oh, yeah.
And we didn't have a count, but I saw 4 or 5 in a picture that was sent to me at one time.
Because usually they are able to jump in and then they're trapped and someone basically has to open a gate or something so that they can get back out if they're not injured.
Right, and even when they are bloodied, their noses are often bloody. The gate happens to be near a corner, but it's amazing. They walk right by the opening and go right into the corner and smash themselves against the wire. They're limited.
Yeah. Got it. All right, no, that's it. Thank you.
All right. Vice Chair Beatty? any
Yes,
questions?
okay, so we have the sign up that no neighbors have really said, hey, that's a bad idea. Do you think the extra 2 feet will solve the problem?
The fence installer recommended 10 foot.
Okay.
We did research, and some of it was presented to your board, that spoke of the need to have 10 foot. But I've also read that some deer can get over 10-foot fence. But I am pretty certain that we're going to reduce the problem immeasurably if we are granted that 10-foot. I think it will largely solve the problem.
And what type of a fence is it now? Is it a chain link type fence?
No, it's a high tensile tensioned wire fence. It starts at ground level with very small rectangles and gets progressively larger as it gets to the top. And it's attractive because it's not, if you look at the woods, you don't even see the fence. You might pick out an occasional post, but it's virtually invisible for the neighbors.
It's black.
It's black, the wire itself is black in color, so it does not, it's not a visible eyesore at all.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, Commissioner, any question?
Yeah, just a couple. Most of my questions were just asked and answered. But on the schematic that was provided, the red line, I assume there's no fence there because that is, I can't remember from the old photos, on the right-hand side. No fence is needed on
Where's
that right
that?
side?
I think,
I have,
What's the question?
if I'm looking here at the plan, there's a green outline and a red mark. And the
Yes.
green outline are the areas that have the 8-foot fence,
Right, and the red where there is no green is what?
is the 10-foot.
Oh, so that's the 10-foot that does exist now.
Yes.
Okay, okay. And just to confirm, the residents at 204, 192, 182, 172, et cetera, as you just asked, there is a sign up. They are aware that this is, okay. Do you aware of any
Yeah.
deer issues with the residents at 204, 192, 182, et cetera?
Insofar as whether they
Any
see
issues with
deer.
them? Deer in their yard, injured deer, no?
In terms of their having problem with deer,
Correct.
I guess I'm not aware of any problems that
Michael
they.
Zariffi.
Oh, Michael Zariffis used to complain about it and not in the picture for some years.
All right, just two questions left. There was, in the meeting notes before, there was a question, I think Commissioner Beatty asked regarding what your backfield was adjacent to, and it was stated that there was a proposed development called the Old Main Street subdivision. Where would that be in relation to which side?
To the east and to the south,
yeah, so,
two segments there. And there's a little jog.
And as far as we're aware, that's being held up by the DEP.
correct.
It was my understanding that they were also working out something with the MDC for that subdivision.
So if that subdivision was built, do we have any idea what the proximity would be to the residents' property line?
I'm not, I can't remember it wasn't going to be extremely close because they were going to have good-sized yards, I guess. I don't remember. Mr. Clark, do you remember what it was, how far that development was going to be from your property line?
I think that there's two borders where the development borders our property line, and the development showed that portions of 6 yards would border on our 5 acres.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember the subdivision off the top of my head. I want to say they're like
Right.
two-thirds of an acre lots, something
I
like
think it's
that.
R20.
Those are single-family?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't think there would be any incumbents between Mr. Clark's property and the development, so.
Okay, and again, his fence is intended, it's 3 feet within his property line existing?
Correct.
The, do you have a camera outside, sir?
I do around the perimeter of the house, but not that shows the fence with any detail.
So you have a section of the property that has a 10-foot fence right now. Any evidence, belief, it was asked earlier, I mean, we were at 6, we're at 8, we're going to 10. Any belief that the 10-foot section is an effective deterrent to the deer hopping over? Any observations, anything that you've seen?
What I have not seen in the 10-foot area is what we see in the 8-foot area is areas where they land, and you can see the imprint of their hoofs.
Okay.
When the ground isn't frozen, and with the 10-foot area, we have not seen any indication of them clearing it and making imprints.
Okay. If you do the 10 feet, it's a granted, and if the problem does persist, do you foresee yourself returning for an additional request for a 12-foot high fence or extension?
I certainly would hope not. I mean, orchards and market gardeners around the state of Connecticut have been successfully growing in 10-foot areas. So
Pretty confident.
hopeful that that's the end of it, but who knows?
All right, thank you, sir.
Okay, Commissioner, nothing, okay. I'd just like to reiterate, Mr. is that you have had good luck with the 10-foot fence that we did grant you in 2022, correct? We haven't, okay, okay. Yeah, and I hate a child see a deer put down. So I have no further questions. Questions from any commissioners before we close? No? Okay, can I get a motion to close the public hearing, please?
Motion?
Second.
Okay, discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Okay, we're going to go ahead and close the public hearing. We're going to open it up to new business. This is for the continuation appeal 2025-01, Charles and Claire Clark, requesting a variance from the requirements of the Rocky Hill zoning regulation sections 9.G.3.2.B, A2 survey requirement, and 2B structure applicable to fence to allow for a 10-foot high fence within 6 feet is required for property located at 2014 Old Main Street in an R20 zoning district, ID number 04-488. Can I get a motion, please?
I make a motion to accept the appeal as you just wrote, as you just read.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, hearing none?
Oh, I just
Go
want
ahead.
to add, assuming that the neighbors also got stuff in the mail telling them this was a thing, including that development that's behind. I drive this all the time. You can't really see anything or anything like that in the backyard. None of the neighbors are complaining about it. I think it's a little disappointing that the injuries of the current deer are basically caused by the fence place. But I think the way that, and nobody else is really upset about it. I mean, it seems like a no-brainer.
Okay, anything else? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. Okay, Mr. Clark, you are all set. Let's go ahead and protect those deer. All right?
Okay, well,
Okay, congrats.
And your crops. Yes, and your flowers.
Rhododendrons.
All right.
Yep.
Have a nice evening, Mr. Clark. Thank you very much.
okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Okay, next item on the agenda is old business. None. Any other business? None. Can I get a motion to approve the actions taken in the minutes from May 21st, 2024, and January 21st, 2025. And actually, I don't see the minutes in here from May. I see
I
two.
believe they were in previous
They were?
previous
Okay.
Probably
packets,
got 'em
because
in-
we've had those
Yeah.
on, those have been on the docket for a while.
For quite a while, yeah. Okay. Okay, can I get a motion, please?
I'll motion.
Okay. Second?
Second.
Okay, discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
I,
Noting that I abstain as I wasn't present.
Got it. Okay. Ben, quick question. I know you sent out an email about the, what was it, the PIC? What's the status on that, the plan of conservation?
That was
Yeah,
the
po-
survey.
POC. Okay, the
Yeah.
survey, okay. All right, that's right, okay. Go ahead.
The only way to, because I did see the survey, and it looks like the survey is a PDF of a document, so is the only way to respond to the survey to print out the PDF and then return it to town hall?
Correct.
they're working on making a digital version of it, though. I think Mr. Murphy, is it? I think is working on doing that. There might be one already created, just hasn't been dispersed by Kim yet.
Okay. Yeah, that could be.
And is that open to boards and commissions, or is it, are we soliciting feedback from the general public as well?
You're still a resident?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's anonymous.
But it's for everybody? Okay.
You could-
Yep, yep. I do want to put one thing, I know I have seen on Facebook about people, and Ben and I have already talked about this, people that have made some comments about the house on Elm Street, right past the church, 2 houses west of the church, going towards Cromwell Avenue, with the abandoned and dismantled vehicles in the yard. Ben has informed me that they have spoken to the owner of the property, and he will be removing those vehicles. So I just wanted to let whoever's watching or listening that that has been addressed by staff. Okay? Okay. Anything else? Can I get a motion to adjourn, please?
Motion.
Second.
Just got all in favor? Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.